that's old news. Yeah, I know. Okay, so this video is trading my screen time for reading. I'm starting today. It's Saturday. I'm doing it based on the previous week. So last Saturday was April 5th and I had a screen time of an hour and 36 minutes. So that's actually not too bad. I'm not mad about that. But I'm in the middle of 2 books right now. I'm reading Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. However, I'm only on page 64. And then I've been listening to The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reed. I'm on chapter 21 of that book, 80% through. So right now I'm actually going to do some chores and such, and I'm going to listen to The Wolf and the Woodsman. I think that this might be the easiest to just set a timer for an hour and 36 minutes because I think I'm going to be switching between physical and audiobook, so I want to make sure I don't lose track. Wolf and the Woodsman, and I still have 29 minutes and 40 seconds left of reading today, but I'm gonna give a little review of The Wolf and the Woodsman because that's my 4th Ava Reed book that I've read so far, and it's by far my favorite one. Well, actually, that's not true. I love Lady Macbeth more than that one, so it's my 2nd favorite one. She writes dark fantasy, and it very much reminds me of Rachel Gillig's writing in One Dark Window, which I'm obsessed with. I've been searching for more books like Rachel Gillig's books. I love like the dark fantasy that Ava Reed writes. I do have to say sometimes her books are a little gory, so if that's something that you're not into, like maybe look up trigger warnings before her books. I don't think it's too bad. It's nothing that like makes me grossed out or anything. It's just kind of like, oh, that's a lot. Or maybe, you know, a little detailed with the gore. Anyways, this book was really interesting though. It had a lot to do with culture and religion. I definitely think there was a deeper message she was trying to convey with like the differences between these religions and like how like one religion really hated the people of other religions. Like obviously that's not a new subject to bring up. You know, religious tensions have been around literally forever, but I'm not sure I grasped anything deeper than the fact that like I acknowledged that there was religious tension, I guess. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I really enjoy reading her books and I highly suggest reading that book. It's so good. But I guess for my remaining like 30 minutes, I'm just gonna pick up Mistborn and read some of that. Finished my hour and 36 minutes, I think that's what it was, for Saturday. I got to page 87 in Mistborn. If you don't know, this is a fantasy book by Brandon Sanderson. I feel like he's so famous. I don't know, this is my first book by him. It's this girl, she like doesn't really have a family. Her brother like ran out on her. That's in the first, like the beginning of the book. I'm not spoiling anything, but this world that they live in, there's a group of people called ska, which are basically just slaves for upper class people. I'm not super clear on if you're like poor, it just means you're a ska, or if it's like I'm not sure about that. So I think she is a ska though. I'm not super clear. Anyways, there's like a magic system in this called allomancy where there's different types of metals and you can like activate them within yourself. You have to be a mistling or a mistborn to have these powers. Anyways, the magic system is a little interesting. I feel like maybe we're in this book starting to talk about the magic system like it's common knowledge a little bit too early. I don't really know what's going on, to be honest. Like there's a lot of pushing and pulling of metal, and like I don't really know. I don't understand that like hardly at all. Like I'm less than 100 pages in. Like I'm sure I'm gonna find out soon. Another character in this book is like a crew leader for like criminals basically, and so he's a Mistborn. So he's an expert in this like magic system. And then obviously our main character Vin, who's poor, like she doesn't know about the magic system, so he will be teaching her. So hopefully when he's teaching her, it also teaches me, because I don't know what's going on. Like, I have like a vague idea. Like, it's not like I'm lost. I guess it's hard for me to visualize in my head. I'm a very, like, I see like a movie in my head whenever I read. So that's honestly just the only thing that I'm struggling with, is I can't really visualize it very well. But yeah, it's good. The writing is good. It's fine. I think, not that I expect a book to be like super exciting off the start, but like it probably could be more exciting. But yeah, so my time is up for today. Tomorrow, I'll tell you how much I have to read tomorrow, and then I'll do it. So yeah, that's my update for today. Hi, and welcome to Sunday, swapping my screen time for reading. My total for today is 2 hours and 42 minutes, and I'm going to pick up Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. That's all I'm gonna say. That's what I'm reading, so I'm gonna start the timer. Okay, I only got to 107 in Mistborn. Don't worry though, my time's not up. I still have 2 hours and 11 minutes. I haven't read for very long, really at all. However, I'm stressed. I just have other things to do, and that means I need an audiobook, and I don't have an audiobook. I didn't have a single one. So I just went through my Libby and placed holds on all of the ones that were available right now that I was interested in reading. The first one is Robin Hobb's The Royal Assassin, which is the second book in the Farseer trilogy. I read the first book last year, felt okay about it. It was fine. I think maybe a little less than half the book though, the main character is like a child. So I was like, I don't really care about this kid's life. He was like less than 10 years old, I believe. So I want to read the second book to give it a chance to see if I like the series. Anyone that talks about that series or Robin Hobb's books in general, love them. I definitely think I'm missing something, so I want to read the second book. I think I'm going to start with Robin Hobb's book. Yeah, I'm switching over to an audiobook now, and I'll keep you updated.
The Farseer, Royal Assassin, by Robin Hobb, narrated by Paul Baker. Copyright.
My timer is done. I got to page 138 in Mistborn. And then for my audiobook, I got to chapter 3, 7% through the book. Honestly, I think I am liking Mistborn a little bit more. I don't know if I mentioned in this video specifically, but I have read Mistborn, at least a part of it, earlier in my life, maybe a year ago. Maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember where I stopped though. Everything I've read has been familiar so far. So I guess I definitely got past part 2. I'm not exactly sure why I stopped reading it. I guess I just wasn't interested. I don't really know. I won't say like this book absolutely has me in a chokehold as far as interest goes, but I don't think it's horrifically boring. So I'm gonna keep reading. I'm definitely interested to see how the end plays out. I think though I'm not super attached to the characters, and whenever that happens to me when I'm reading a book, it's a mystery to me. I don't understand if that's usually like a writing thing or the author. I don't know. So that's where I'm at. And then for the Royal Assassin, it's fine so far. I'm literally on chapter 3. Like, I just started chapter 3, so I don't have many thoughts. The audiobook for that one is whack though. It's narrated by this really old man. which kind of puts me more into the story though. Yeah, that's my reading update for now. Unfortunately, nothing thrilling, which I'm not happy about. I want something to be interesting in this vlog, so hopefully that changes. That's my update for Sunday, and I will see you tomorrow. It's Monday and my time for this morning was 2 hours and 29 minutes. I currently only have 37 minutes left. I've been reading a lot today. I'm at page 212 in Mistborn, and honestly, like right up until this past chapter, I still have been having the same feelings where it's kind of like I'm not super connected to the characters, but the story is like fairly intriguing. But something just like really interesting happened, so I'm a little bit more hooked. I don't really know why I'm not really super connected to the characters though. Maybe it's the writing. I really can't tell, and it's really bothering me, but I'm still gonna finish the book. I still think it's intriguing enough to continue reading. Finish the rest of my time later tonight. Like I said, I only have like 37 minutes for today left, but I might just see how much I read tonight, and if I go over, I'm gonna contribute that towards my Tuesday time, because Tuesday and Thursday I go to pottery. I don't know, like I'm just really worried that I won't be able to like complete the challenge, and like the whole point of the challenge is like to do it, you know. I have only a little bit left for today, but I might continue into tomorrow's time. But yeah, that's my update for right now, so I'll see you later. Extra 1 hour and 20 minutes and 35 seconds, and I got to page 300 in Mistborn. I think it's getting better for sure. I care more about our main female character, Vin. She's kind of growing on me, but another character, I don't even know if I can say what his name is. I don't know what all I can say about this book that's not a spoiler, because the back literally gives you nothing. Yeah, there's another character in here that's like very prevalent. I don't have a lot of opinions about him. I think he's just fine. I don't know. He's definitely hiding something, so there should be like a big reveal of another secret that he has, which I'm looking forward to. The chapters are really long, and I know that's like such a stupid thing to complain about, but long chapters really are such a discouragement, I swear. Okay, it just makes me feel like I'm reading slower and that the story in general is taking longer. I know that, like I said, that's a very small thing to complain about, and I can get over it, and I am getting over it. But I also think that something I was struggling with earlier was, I feel like when I think of the term world building, I only think of like magic system, weather, or like setting, or like, you know, in the Mistborn's setting specifically, like they have a red sun and there's like ash falling from the sky. You know, if there's fae, if there's like other types of magical creatures, like that is like very typical world building to me. But like, I think that's pretty common for like romantasy books. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna get that much detail into like the life of other people who aren't the main character. But in this book, there's so much world building about different types of people, and also we're learning about different religions and like the time, a little bit about the times before the Lord Ruler, who's like, I mean, I feel like you can gather what that means. He's like he's the guy that rules this entire setting. But we're getting like a tiny glimpse into like what life was like before he was there, and I kind of felt like that was really boring at first, and I kind of was sitting there being like, why should I care about this? But this is a part of at least a trilogy, if not, I'm not entirely sure how all of Brandon Sanderson's books connect, but the dude like really knows how to build
a universe, basically. So this being my first book by him, like, I just had to get through it. You just have to deal with it. And so, like, I have to tell myself that's okay, that, like, I'm learning things and I'm supposed to be learning things about this world and this universe. Maybe also my impatience has a lot to do with that, like, where I just want to know what the problem is and how we're going to deal with it immediately. But yeah, sorry, that was like a really long rant, but I feel like this is the first like substantial update that I've had from reading this book, and I'm on page like 300. Okay, so I have to read for like a little bit less than an hour tomorrow, which is no big deal at all. I will definitely be fulfilling that time during my ceramics class. However, that does mean that I will be listening to The Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb, because unfortunately I do not have the audiobook for Mistborn. I literally want it so badly. I would love to just continue one book, but my hold for the Mistborn audiobook is going to take another month, and then my Spotify hours don't renew until Wednesday. So unfortunately I will be switching up the books again, but it's still putting me towards my goal, so it's okay. But anyways, that's my update for today. I will see you tomorrow. I feel annoying that all my updates have been with my phone as a microphone, but my AC is so loud that this is necessary. Is it annoying you? I don't know. First of all, I realized my math last night was wrong, and I was supposed to read like an hour and 20 minutes today, but now I only have 45 minutes left because I listened to some of the Royal Assassin audiobook at work. I'm on chapter 4, 12% in. I don't make progress very fast in that book because, for more context, I read the first book, I think December of last year. So I'm listening to this book and I'm confused. And then I'm like, oh, I get it. And then I'm immediately confused again. And then I get it. And then I'm confused again. So I'm in this little cycle where I'm sometimes grasping it and sometimes not. Am I enjoying it less because of that? No. It's okay. I really, really don't like the fact that the narrator is like an old man. I really wish it was someone else, but you can't have everything you want, and it's fine, and I'll get over it because it's the only audiobook I have. It's the only audiobook I really want to listen to right now, except for I would love to listen to Mistborn on audiobook, but we're waiting for tomorrow until my audiobook hours renew on Spotify. Anyways, I only have 45 minutes left for today. I was considering picking up Mistborn again. However, another little fun story time. The other night, my hold for The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren came in on Libby. So I started it because I was in the mood for a romance. I was like, I think I've heard good things about this book, so I'm going to start it. I think I got 30% into that book and I DNF'd it because it was so annoying. I really, really hated the main female character and also kind of the premise. So I DNF'd that, but I was still in the mood for a romance, so I went on Kindle Unlimited and it was just scrolling away, trying to find something substantial to read because I didn't want to read like a trashy romance. I wanted to read maybe something with more emotion or something. I don't really know. So I found out that The Bodyguard by Catherine Center is on Kindle Unlimited, fun fact. So I started that. I'm 14% in, and that's actually what I'm going to use the rest of my time for today because I don't know. I didn't end up going to my pottery class because I'm feeling very lazy, and so I want to read a romance, and that's what I'm going to do. Again, maybe 2 minutes after my last update. I don't really love the One of Us is Famous trope, which this is because she's the bodyguard for like a famous actor man. But this one kind of gives me hope. I like her writing a lot. Maybe if I don't end up liking this one, should I just give up on the trope completely? Probably, yeah. You know, people don't normally read tropes they hate over and over again, but I do for some reason. So I just wanted to give that update. He seems hot, so maybe it's okay. I don't know. The last One of Us is Famous trope I read was Annabelle Monaghan's Nora Goes Off script, and that man did not seem hot to me. But maybe it was because he was going through a lot. He was like wallowing and like probably depressed or something. I don't know. I didn't think he was very hot, but this guy seems hot. I just got to a part. Okay, no, I'll just tell you where I am. I'm 19% in, and I just discovered that one of my favorite tropes of all time is in this book. So I think that will counteract my hatred for the One of Us is Famous trope completely, because I love this trope so much that I can just ignore everything else, honestly. I'm so excited.
Wednesday. I didn't even look at how much time I have left. However, I did finish all my time yesterday. I got to... Progress in the book isn't just from reading yesterday, like during my timer. I did read a little bit afterwards, but I'm on chapter 14, 41% through The Bodyguard. It's really good so far. I really like our main female character, Hannah, and the main male character, the one that's an actor, is actually not insufferable. I usually don't like when it's like one of us is famous and the man is a diva. Like, so this man is not a diva, which I really appreciate. Okay, I'm on chapter 22 of Mistborn. I didn't read any of that yesterday, but I'm gonna go onto my Spotify. Oh my god. It says that my audiobook hours renew in 9 hours. I would have choke whoever made Spotify audiobooks like this. They honestly hate people that like to read. That's so annoying. That was like my plan. I guess I'll just keep listening to The Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. Ugh. If I even really listened to anything today. Okay, let's look at my time. Oh, lovely. Today's time is 2 hours and 32 minutes. Let's see what I get up to. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do.
This is crazy. Breaking news. My Libby hold for the Mistborn audiobook literally just came in. I'm so excited. That's literally all. That's what I want to read. That's what I want to listen to. Okay, so that's definitely what I would be listening to and reading today.
It's Wednesday night, and I have updates for you, but they might be disappointing updates. Considering I listened to maybe less than 10 minutes of Mistborn on my Libby audiobook, so instead of being at the start of chapter 22, I'm now in the middle of chapter 22. So then, you know, great progress. And that's all that I've read today. I'm 59% through at the end of chapter 23. Didn't hardly read any of that. Didn't really get much further. However, my friend Sam delivered me a really exciting, crazy, fun, amazing book, which is Sunrise on the Reaping. You might be like, girl, that's old news. Yeah, I know. I know. And everyone probably has already read this. However, I did not want to pay $30 for the paperback. So I waited for my friend Sam to read it and then be done with it and then so kindly loan it to me. So I also have this as an option now. However, didn't even make a timer today. So even though I listened to a little bit of Mistborn, I'm just gonna start the timer from the beginning because I don't know how much I read and I really don't think it matters that much because it's probably less than 10 minutes. Okay, solid. 2 hours, 32 minutes. Oh great, I should finish at 11:36. So I'm gonna spend this 2 hours and 32 minutes reading The Bodyguard on my Kindle because I was thoroughly enjoying it and I'm gonna continue it.
This is boyfriend POV. Aaron doing a reading vlog.
Yeah. I still have 59 minutes left before I can stop.
You better get to reading. Wait, is there a Zoom on this?
Yeah, it's a little thing you push from side to side.
Creaky floor.
Are you zooming on the floor?
Tweaky kitty.
Bodyguard, and I gave it 4 stars. That book is so cute. Like I said previously, I think that the one of his famous trope was done really well because the actor man was like normal and he wasn't horrifically stuck up and snotty and bratty and spoiled. And honestly, there was a lot of stuff about grief, which was really interesting, and I really appreciated that aspect as well. It gave it some more emotion. I thought that book was really cute. So basically though, I only have literally 9 minutes and 8 seconds left, which is really just such an unfortunate amount of time because I don't know if I could even get through it. Maybe I could get through a chapter for Mistborn, but like do I start it? I just found my spot in here from the audiobook, so I think I'm just gonna keep with this because I'm in the middle of a chapter. So I definitely think I'm gonna start this tomorrow though, so I'm really looking forward to that, but I must finish today. for my 2 hours and 12 minutes. I finished my required time for today. However, I have like 120-ish pages left, so I am going to sit here and finish this book. Because I honestly cannot tell how I feel. Today, all day when I was reading, I was like, do I like this book? Like, as I've stated this whole entire time, I think the plot is really interesting, but I am not emotionally attached to the characters like whatsoever. And I don't understand how. I just don't really know. And especially at one point, the main female character was like irritating me. So that doesn't help, of course. But and like obviously it's hard to just judge an author based off of one of their books. But like as I'm reading it, I'm like, I don't get the hype. Especially because everyone says to start with this one. Everyone's like, this is such a good entry book to Brandon Sanderson, whatever. I'm not understanding it, I just feel like I'm missing something. I don't know. It's like entertaining, but it really does not have a grasp on me whatsoever. Like I'm not like, is it my problem that I basically want all my fantasy books to like have me in a chokehold? Like they're so interesting and like there's so much plot and action happening. Or if there's not plot and action happening, I need some character growth. Even though our main female character has grown a lot. But maybe I don't like what she's grown into. Maybe, I literally don't know. I don't know. I have such mixed feelings, so I just have to finish this book because I need a definitive answer for me. Yeah, I'm gonna read the rest of this and I'll still give you an update. I finished this. It's much later. It's like 10 p.m. now. And like I said, obviously I read this outside of the timer because I just wanted to get it finished because I really was having such mixed feelings about it. I really, truly think that the first 300 pages are world building. Like that's insane. I don't know. Like I feel like we were going into such hyper specific detail about things that we did not need to know about. At least not at right that second. Like I do feel like it was so front heavy world building. Like we could have found out. I personally just like a book that like you find out as we're going. Like it's more like woven throughout the entire story rather than like dump action. Like that's how it kind of felt. Especially, so there's 5 parts of the book. I think parts 1 and 2, definitely world building. Part 3, you're kind of getting somewhere. That's the part that I was actually enjoying. Part 4, world building. Part 5, action. Which is insane. That's such a weird pace. It's weird pacing. I guess that's my problem. I give it 3 stars, but to be honest, I actually genuinely could not tell you how I feel about it. It's not that I didn't like it, but I didn't necessarily have a good time while I was reading it. Like I wasn't captivated at all. I wasn't really invested in our characters at all. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, I'm excited for tomorrow because I'm starting Sunrise on the Reaping, and I know that one's gonna be good. An hour and 58 minutes left. My camera's dying. And I'm on page 69. I feel like I was further. But anyways, so Haymitch just got to the capital because, you know, he's a, what's it called? Tribute. Very sad. Very, I can't. That's honestly my only update. It's like not that much has happened. The way that he got reaped. That sounds really terrible. The way he got chosen to be in the Hunger Games is horrifically sad. But I'm just in my head like trying to piece together the connections from this book to the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, because like Snow is president obviously in this book, but the only references have been a mysterious girl from District 12 winning, but nobody remembers anything about it, which I'm like 89% sure that's referring to Lucy Gray. And then also the fact that
tributes used to be taken to the Capitol in like cattle cars on trains, rather than like they like fed them. They gave them the food on this train, and they let them sleep in a bed, and they gave them new clothes. Or not new clothes, they gave them stuff to sleep in, I think. That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, my updates are very, I don't have that much to say, so I'm gonna keep reading. There's another character from a second Hunger Games book in this. Oh my god. Off just a couple minutes ago because I finished my chapter. I'm on page 192, chapter 14. I'm officially halfway through this book. It's so good so far. I am really liking it, and I really want to keep reading tonight even though my timer's gone off. So I might continue reading and just time it like I did earlier this week and subtract that time from tomorrow's time, because tomorrow's time is the highest. It's 4 hours and 38 minutes. Which is crazy, but to be honest, I am gonna go on like a little bit of a rant about screen time right now, because like the idea like swapping my screen time for reading is like so fun, because obviously it's supposed to be like improving my habits and like, you know, maybe getting me to read longer than I am on my phone. However, it's like not really doing that for me. Not that I thought one video would like cure my phone addiction or whatever, but like I also want to say that like my numbers for this week, literally except for Saturday, have been fairly low. I would say Saturday's number is probably my actual average for every single day. It's probably 3 or 4 hours every single day. And that's usually just social media. Like I'm not getting that many notifications. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to say that because I don't like want people to be like, oh my gosh, like her screen time's not that bad. No, it is. No, it is. I don't know why last week, which is the week that I'm taking all the times from, I actually was so away from my phone, which was great, I guess. But then, well, for example, my screen time literally yesterday was 5 hours. So yesterday was 5 hours. The day before that was 3 hours and 43 minutes. The day before that was 3 hours and 29 minutes. The day before that was 2 hours and 37 minutes. So I don't like want anyone to think that like my screen time is not that bad, because it really is. Anyways, that being said, I think I'm gonna read a little bit more and just subtract that from my time tomorrow, because like they just did the interviews in the book. Also, I hope everyone knows that me talking about the like points that I'm at in this book is not a spoiler, because like it follows the same structure as the actual Hunger Games books, because you know there's the reaping. They get to the Capitol, they have their interviews, then the games start. So we're at the part where they just have their interviews. But of course I'm not going to tell you like information that's actually spoiler. Oh, I actually was theorizing with my sister on the phone earlier because I told her I was reading this book, and she said that she hadn't read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I was like, oh yeah, that book is pretty good, but I'm like slightly disappointed. You know, everyone that's read The Hunger Games knows that President Snow has a terrible reputation. Like he's a terrible guy. And I feel like yes, what he did in the book was bad. I'm not trying to excuse his behavior in that whatsoever, but I wanted his like whole entire story of him being like a terrible person, being like, you know, his like villain arc basically. And I don't feel like we got that. Like we saw the beginning and where it started, but like I thought we were gonna get, I don't know, like more of a reason why he's like this, or like more of his like reasoning for why he's continued to be like one of the most awful men, I guess, in this history of this series. But we're getting a lot of him in this one, obviously, because he's the president during Haymitch's game. And then my sister was saying that on social media, people are theorizing that Suzanne Collins is going to write a third prequel book. So it's like Snow's story, Haymitch's story, and then another story. And then I would be completely okay with the first book, because in this book it's showing him being terrible, and I'm sure then in the book after this one, if there is one, I don't even know that for a fact, like Snow's atrocities as a person will continue, so then it would be like his whole entire story would be fleshed out, which I would be so happy about. So I really hope there is a third book. I don't know if there will be, but I really hope there is. This one is so good so far. Anyways, I feel like I just talked for so long, so I'm gonna read some more. I only ended up reading one extra chapter after I just ended this to say that I'm gonna read some to take off my time for tomorrow. I read for 13 minutes. So now, tomorrow I'm gonna read for 4 hours and 24 minutes instead of 4 hours and 48 minutes. I don't know. I think I have plans tomorrow, so I feel like I'm gonna be kind of busy, but I like don't have a actual estimate on how long I'm gonna be busy for. So no matter what, I'm probably gonna be finishing this and showing you and vlogging it for you, but I feel like I'm talking for no reason. I'll see you tomorrow. Hi, me again. It's Saturday, and okay, it's 2:50, and I have not started my 4 hours and 24 minutes of reading time, so I'm going to right now. However, I've been reading my house all week, as you've seen, so I'm going to run to Barnes & Noble to sit and read, and I might possibly get a book. Actually, I really probably will get a book. Just wanted to bring that up for some reason. However, I'm going to start my timer. Well, I'm going to go to Barnes & Noble, sit down and start my timer, and then read. So, yeah. I only have 2 hours and 36 minutes left, so I was in Barnes & Noble for however long. I don't know specifically, but I'm almost done with this book. Last time I checked, I had 100 pages left. I'm at 315. Oh my gosh. So I'm well, considering last time I checked, I was at 100 pages, and now I'm less than 100 pages. Yeah, 379. That's crazy. The people that were walking towards my car were parked next to me. This is fine anyways. Okay, so I have 60 pages left of this book, which is crazy considering I felt like I did kind of just start it. Anyways, that's my update for now. I finished this book. Oh my god. Oh my god. I didn't cry. Crazy. Absolutely insane. Earlier when I was reading Barnes & Noble, I was fighting back tears. But 2 major deaths happened while I was in Barnes & Noble. Obviously I didn't know they were coming, but I was like, okay, I figured they were coming at some point, but I didn't know they were happening right when I was in public. But oh my gosh, such a good story. Haymitch, I feel like it's a perfect story for Haymitch. I don't know if she had this like already in her head when she wrote The Hunger Games, or if she came up with this recently. I don't know. I would love to know like the inner workings of her mind, but this is so good. I think, like I mentioned earlier, love that we see kind of a continuation of like Snow's story in this story, because Snow's story and Haymitch's story are so intertwined with each other. One thing I'm confused about though, and this has nothing to do with the book, it's just stuff that I saw online after this came out, was like people comparing Haymitch and Katniss, which, to be fair, I never finished the Hunger Games books. I read the first one and I read half of the second one, and then I never finished the rest when I was younger. But of course I've seen all the movies. I haven't seen them for a while though, so like I will say my knowledge of the Hunger Games is a little rocky, but I don't get that at all. Also, speaking about that, I'm like in my mind I'm like, oh, I want to read all the Hunger Games books, but also kind of like I just want to watch all the movies, which of course I would get more of like the tiny connections and details that would connect their stories together if I read the books. But like, I don't know. Honestly, if you would like to see a reading vlog of me reading the Hunger Games books, like probably full spoiler, please tell me and I will do it. It's really that simple, to be honest. If I just read the Hunger Games books, it would have to be a reading vlog, because I don't have enough spare time outside of making other book videos, if that makes sense. I give it also 4.5 stars because this book is so good, but I do stand by that I think 5 stars is like a feeling, so I didn't necessarily get that feeling, but I was flabbergasted and my jaw was on the floor and my heart was aching for the characters, so still an amazing book, definitely. However, I unfortunately still have an hour and 51 minutes left, which is so terribly inconvenient. It's literally 10 p.m. Okay, I'm actually gonna be so honest, I don't want to do this. I have an hour and 25 minutes left. I actually literally just read 1 chapter. I think I'm okay with accepting failure on the last day because I finished 3 whole books. Which is so funny because apparently when I do timer challenges, I can read so much more. I usually just finish 2 books every week for the vlogs that I do. So that's pretty cool. Thank you for hanging out with me this week, and hopefully I'll see you next week in my next video.